Yeah. So I'm out at the mall, and I hope you can hear me. So I have, gotten some subscribers. I've gotten a few views, and I had gotten recently, like, kind of back to back, some negative comments on my pages, and it wasn't just negative, like, oh, I disagree with you. It was stuff where people were like, oh, like character assassination. You're lazy, you're stupid, you're a hoe, just like really crazy stuff, and not just like, oh, I don't like, what you said, I disagree with you. It was really just character assassination and bullying. And I was kind of meditating on that and what kind of mindset someone would have to just continually like type negative things that could be potentially harmful to someone's emotions. And like, why would you do that? Like, you don't have any hobbies, clearly, or your hobby is just being negative. And it reminded me, being in middle school, and I was bullied. I was definitely a person who was bullied. As you can see, I'm like so cheery, and Black people aren't allowed to be cheery. Apparently, it's like against the rules. And I pronounce all of the letters in most of the words that I say. So, and apparently, again, Black people are not allowed to enunciate. Apparently, so I was a target for certain people. In my case, mostly Black girls, but I also definitely got awkward comments. It just wasn't as continual, but I got awkward comments from other people of other races. But and I guess I was just thinking about this process because the last trigger, the last, I guess, straw was when I was helping out with the camp. We're each partnered with one child, one girl, and I had a 5th grader, and honestly, we pretty much have the same temperament. And I just, as an adult, I'm an adult, I'm in my 30s, I had to look at it, hey, this girl's 10. I don't know how long she's been in a group home situation, but with my temperament, if I were in her situation, I probably would have a pretty bad attitude, too. And I might just say some smart mouth stuff to whomever, because I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm not going to see you after 3 days. And I see a lot of adults come and go, whatever. But it was interesting. So on the first day, she just like saw me. I was going to the bathroom, and I was like, hey, where are you going? And she's like, you dress like a grandma. And I was like, oh my God, they're so rude, but it's kind of funny because I didn't really put much time into my outfit that first day. And I was like, don't you mean like a middle-aged lady at least? I was like, I am kind of middle-aged. She was like, no, like a grandma. And it was like, a little head to the side. And if she could have like snapped after it, she's Korean, so, but if she could have been like, did I stutter? She was dead serious. Like, she's like, let me just tell you, you are not fly. I'm not feeling you. Like, and I was like, okay, so was this 10-year-old trying to serve me? Like, what just happened? And then the next day, it was also in the morning, so that was kind of in the first part of the day. And then the next day in the morning, we're sitting at the table where we do the projects before we get started, and we're talking, and she's like, oh, so you're American, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm American. She's like, but you're Black. And I'm like, yeah, duh, I'm Black. And mind you, this conversation's in Korean, right? We're having this conversation in Korean. So then she's like, oh, well, this other volunteer, he's tall, thin, white guy, she's like, oh, well, he's American too. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, well, but he's white. And I was like, yeah. But I was like, President Obama, he's Black, he's American, the president, And I was like, I'm like him. And she's like, no, you're not. You're darker. And I was like, little girl, fall back, little girl, fall back, okay? So I was like, no, we're the same color, like, and she was like, no, you're really Black. Jesus be offense all around. Yeah, anyway, I was just like, no, you didn't. And then she was like, yeah, I like, this guy, the volunteer. She's like, and white people are good. Jesus, woo. I started singing spirituals. No, it wasn't that bad. But it was just interesting because in that case, I'm not sure she's so young, but I imagine she's obviously been talked to in that kind of way where someone's just really trying to get you, trying to say something that's really going to annoy you. Because I was totally cheery. After the first day, I was like, oh, that's funny, blah, 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 grandma style. And I wrote her a little note. I'm like, okay, whatever, even if I have grandma style, I really appreciate spending time with you. And even after that second day, I did the same thing. I just Pollyannaed it. I was like, she's 10, she's still learning. And I was like, hey, I'm glad to know that I could be your first Black friend. Incidentally, when she read that letter, she like laughed out loud. I mean, I guess she got the subtext of that, like, hey, little homie, you need to fall back. I'm not here to compete with you. I'm not trying to be your mother. I'm not even necessarily trying to be a friend in that, buddy way. I'm just here, and so, it was fine at the end of the camp. She was like, actually wrote a note. It was about 5 sentences. And she's like, I was very irritated at first, but, I won't do that. If I see you next year here, she's like, I promise I won't do that again, and like, just signed her name. And, my thing is, especially, again, I'm an adult, is to be gracious to everybody, regardless of whatever. But I thought, there's a point in which people are unhappy, and I'm sure, it's not an ideal situation for her as a young girl, and it just made me think about people expressing their unhappiness in a way that's kind of harmful, and doing it in a way that's like trying to cause pain to other people. And so for the people who are like don't even know me, they're just like mouthing off or just saying really unpleasant, untrue things, and posting it on my page, I thought, wow, how unhappy do you have to be about yourself to see someone that appears kind of happy and is making other people happy, and then to seeing the comments on Facebook, the people are like, wow, it's great, it's happy, I'm enjoying this, I like you, and seeing that people are complimenting someone else and saying good things about the person, showing love to that person. How unhappy do you have to be for seeing that someone else is giving love to someone and that makes you angry inside? Like, why are they loving on that person? They're not loving me, And I don't know, it really, I guess, being with that girl for 3 days and experiencing that, it really made me think about, people's unhappiness and just like how sad that was. It actually started to break my heart. Like, I was really sad for these people who are posting on my Facebook page, and sad for a little girl who, at least she's little, and she kind of realized, hey, I was being really unfair and I wouldn't do that again. Whereas, I can't necessarily say the same for people who are doing this stuff on YouTube. I hope that if you're still watching this, that you're just enjoy like life. And if people are happy, just, think to yourself, one day I'll be happy. I'm not going to be miserable forever. I'm not going to be unhappy forever. I suffered from depression a lot when I was younger, like really strongly. And even at some point when I first came to Korea, and I thought to myself, I will not die like this. I will not stay unhappy. I might be unhappy now, but I refuse to stay like this. And I made a decision in my mind, and, thanks be God, that's true for me now. But, I don't know, just to all the mean girls, all the haters, like all the like bullies, like wake up and just make a decision that you are not going to stay in a place of being unhappy, because that's what a waste of a life, to be so unhappy that the only thing that makes you feel better is trying to destroy other people. Like, that is such a waste of a life. And no one should waste their life in that way. That should be their primary hobby, is making other people miserable. So that's all. And if you're being bullied or you're, hearing negative words constantly, just remember that those are unhappy people, and do not let them make you feel less than. Do not agree with the words that are coming out of their mouth, because those words are lies. That bullying and that negativity is a lie. It's just there to try to destroy your identity and keep you from being everything and shining the way that you should be shining, and from bringing joy to other people. Like, I got bullied for being so happy because I was like, oh my gosh, guys, I read this new book and I really liked it. And there were just girls who were just very unhappy, and they're like, why are you so happy? And why do you have friends, who are like this or whatever? And instead of thinking, hey, I'm going to have friends like that. She's no cuter than me. She's no smarter than me. She's no, whatever than me. If she got friends, I'm going to get friends like that. Instead of being like, hey, she has it, I can have it. This person's doing it, I can do it. Just taking that negatively. And so that's my advice to all the haters, the mean girls, the bullies. You know what? Someone else has something, then find out a way to get your own. And let me be clear about that. Get your own. You know what I mean? Not trying to steal from other people, but just, life is too amazing. God is too good for people to be out here like just wasting their lives in bitterness and anger and hate and destructiveness. And so I hope, mean girls, bullies, if you guys are watching this, I hope you hear my message that life is too short There's too much good out here for you to waste your life bullying somebody, speaking negatively. And for the rest of us, when we see that, when we hear that, we need to stand up. We need to not allow it. We need to correct it. But we also need to have some little bit of compassion on people who are that miserable. Because that's not a place that any sensible person will want to be, and no way that they would want to spend their life. This is just me talking right now. I got some more Korean related stuff, hopefully later this week, but that was just really on my heart and I wanted to share it. So mad long video. I'll do some other stuff later. Done with the 30-day blog, but I have 2 more Korea topics and I want to add to my 30 days. So that's it. Definitely like me on Facebook. Because I post this random stuff throughout the week on Facebook. So check out the Facebook page. And other than that, ask some questions. Say what you want to say. Leave some comments. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.